anyone's watching over there, don't be shy to say hi. Queen h5. Oh! No, wait, never mind, never mind. What am I saying? I will still do this. Check. Goes there. Okay, can throw in a check, but he moves the king over. I think I'll do this, and then here. Maybe here and here is possible. Yeah, I'll just trade. I mean, trades are good if we're on material. He's gonna have to recapture, then I go here. Don't be worried, it might look like I'm giving him my queen, but I'm winning it back very quickly. And then the resulting endgame up 3 pawns will be a lot easier. Okay, king of fade. Okay, let's just take, not do anything fancy. And let's start pushing pawns a little. But let's go h4. Now, here's one mistake that a lot of people often make whenever they're up material, or whenever they're up pawns. They're like, okay, now I need to push my pawns. They often overextend them. Just push the pawn slowly but surely, right? No rush. Okay, a4, a little bit annoying. Okay, if I take, he's gonna take here, but it doesn't really change much, so I'm just gonna keep advancing over here. Let's go king g2. This is what I mean. We just slowly but surely push up the board. He takes, of course, I recapture. And again, these 3 extra pawns on the king side are simply gonna decide the game. That's just too much. Okay, let's see what he's going to do. He goes bishop d7. Let's go g4. Once again, slowly but surely pushing up the board. Okay, he goes there. That's a little bit odd. He's voluntarily getting himself into a pin. And as I told you guys earlier, when raw material trades are good for us. So let's go bishop 5. Offer another... I mean, we're turning to win the bishop, so he kind of has to go there. And let's keep pushing. I mean, I'm just going to trade off, but I'm already pushing my pawns just in case. Okay, let's take. We just trade everything off. And being up pawns is especially effective if you're up pawns in a king and pawn game. Okay, so we get a nice win. Okay, good stuff. As we advance to 1957. You will be a GM one day, bro. I believe in you. Thank you, Lil. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, so let's have a look at the game. I think we played pretty well. So he played the Dutch. Now, there's a lot of things you can do against the Dutch. You can go, let's say, c4, knight c3, or knight c3 right here. But I think the fianchetto system is generally pretty good. I mean, very often actually, the bishop is very well placed fianchetto because it's just controlling the entire board. And we'll also see that if we get the chance to play it in the Accelerated Dragon. Now he goes here, we go bishop g2, we go c4, and he goes here. Now he can go into a stone wall with a move like d5, but he goes here, we go knight c3, and knight f3. Now the main move here by far and large is the move d6. Black generally tries to go like knight c6 and e5, or sometimes knight e4. Knight c6 is a little bit odd, because now I go d5 and push his knight away, and the knight doesn't have any good squares. Right, if he goes here, the knight moves to the edge, hitting the pawn, but I can just defend it with b3, and the knight looks off. Well, I guess you do want to grab space in the middle, but if you combine it with a fianchetto, then, you know, you don't feel oppressed. But I guess, to your point, let's say you start out, maybe some people play g3, like, okay, I fianchetto my bishop, but then, you know, you don't have the space. So you do want to grab your space, and but the fianchetto is usually quite effective. And in the Accelerated Dragon, you know, it's often something like this, right? Where you have that c pawn pushed up with the fianchetto. So you have the diagonal, but you also make sure that your opponent cannot easily block it with a pawn in the middle, right? But we'll get to that very soon. Okay, so let's get back to the game. We left off here. So yeah, he saw himself forced to move the knight back, but obviously that's not great. I castle, put my knight in the middle. Because like I said, now this tension is really annoying for him. He cannot go e5, that hangs this. He cannot go d6, hangs this. So he goes here, I go queen c2, clearing the d1 square for my rook. Yeah, what I showed you was the English opening, but of course the English opening is kind of like a reverse Sicilian, right? Okay, so I'm threatening to take, open up the d file, so that's why he went here. Bishop f4, developing the bishop, hitting this is just awkward for him to defend. He went here, and b3 actually one of the best moves, with a very simple plan of eventually going a3. And b4. And yeah, this was just a little bit too much. I mean, it doesn't quite work out. Like I said, I cannot do this because he goes e5 with the fork. That's not great. But we just take here, and now f5. f5 is weak. d6 also becomes weak. So he took, but I just take and win the pawn, and my position is good. He should have played something like rook d8, after which white is better, but 94 simply gives up another pawn. And as I always tell you guys, if there's something you can take and you don't see why not, just go ahead and take, right? I could have recaptured, but can also take here first. He moves the king over, and rook takes d6. Somebody's asking, so you're a GM. What is this? What is this? What is this? All right. Anyway. Okay, he goes here, hitting the rook. I just defend it by here. Goes here, a little bit annoying. That's why I move my bishop back to defense. He goes here, f3, anchoring in the bishop in the middle of the board. And once again, we just have to make sure nothing bad happens. If queen e3 and queen f2 would come, things would get very tricky. Which is why we just offered a trade, activating the queen, threatening this. Goes here, I go here. Threatening this, he goes here, I give a check. And often the easiest way to finish off games is just by trading off, right? Now we're up 3 pawns in an endgame. Like I said, we just slowly but surely push forward, and the game really will just win itself. I mean, he went here, stepping into the pin. Now we force a lot of trades, and that was it. Okay, so nice win there. So we moved to 1957. I'm just doing a speed run right now, sharp lines. So that is what we're going to be doing. As to yeah, let's just continue. How do I drink my coffee? I don't know. Hello, Notzella. Good to see you. Hello, Fresh Prince. Okay, let's continue. Okay, and we're playing with black. Let's see. Is he going to go E? Okay, he goes E4. Now, what do we do with E4? We go C5. This is good. Knight f3. Now, who has been paying attention throughout the speedrun? What do we do here against knight f3? Does anyone know? Who has been paying attention? I mean, we're the Accelerated Dragon, right? So we go knight c6. A g6 also possible. That's what I have also in the course. But also have that's what I also have in the course. That is the Hyper Accelerated Dragon. But my main recommendation is knight c6. d4, we go ahead and take. All right, here we captured, and g6. The start of the Accelerated Dragon. And you guys will see how effective this opening is. I mean, I'd say pretty much at all levels, but let's see what he's going to do. The easy thing is we almost always follow up with bishop g7, right? So knight c3, I think definitely the most popular move at the 1900 level, 2000. So we just go bishop g7, very simple. Of course, that's why we go g6. He takes. Now, if he takes on c6, we almost always recapture with the b pawn, not with the d pawn, because we lose the right to castle. But we capture towards the center, and this half-open b file is often quite useful. Yeah, sharp lines. I'm not playing viewers right now. I'm just playing in the pool. Okay, queen d3. Now, I would like to go here, but e5 might be a little bit annoying. Although I have knight g4, e goes f4. I think I'm okay there, but I can also just go queen c7, making sure that e5 is not a thing. Right? Actually, I have queen c7 recommended in case of bishop c4. In case of bishop c4, I also don't recommend this because of the immediate e5, but first queen c7. So let's also do that here. Okay, bishop b2. Let's go knight f6, develop the knight. But yeah, people ask me about Tata. I mean, yeah, it's a pity perhaps, perhaps next year. Who knows? All right. He castles, let's castle as well. Hello, Nuhi Tran. Welcome in the YouTube chat. So this is also move knight f6. I mean, I just played it without explaining anything, but it's a move that a lot of people might actually struggle with because they might think like, why do you block your own bishop? But the truth is, it's hard to develop the knight otherwise, right? Okay, goes queen g3. Now here I have some options. I think the endgame is actually very fine for me. So perhaps let's just do that. I can also just keep the queens on the board, but I don't mind the idea of playing an endgame. If I go here, he might also try to do this and this, try to trade off my active dragon bishop. So let's go ahead and take. It's going to recapture, I assume. Now, I like the idea of rook b8, but e5 is a little bit annoying again. So I'm going to go d6. Once again, you do have to watch out for this move e5. And, by the way, as I was talking about the knight, you can always move the knight later. Sharp lines for not playing viewers. We're just playing the pool, doing the speedrun. Bishop d2. Okay, and I think now is the time. I can go rook b8. I also like the idea. Not that easy. Maybe go here. Let's go knight e7. Like I said, a pretty typical move, opening up the diagonal for my bishop. The knight probably wants to go here. Let's see what he's going to do. You are a viewer, Sharp Lines. You are a viewer. Rook 81, Ikas. Okay. Let's put the knight here, because now we have ideas of taking and taking. Let's see what he's going to do. I feel like now things are slowly but surely starting to become a little bit unpleasant for him. Okay, he goes f4, but now I can win a pawn if I want to. It would come at the cost of my dragon bishop, but it's a pawn. And I would hit this and this, forcing him to go back. So I think it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I'm gonna be greedy here. I'm just gonna take. Now a lot of people will see this move, a lot of dragon players will see this move with pain in their hearts, right? I mean, I always tell you guys like, don't give up the bishop, but the queens are off the board, so I'm not too worried about the dark stars around my king. And it's a pawn, right? It's a pawn in an endgame. He goes back. To be fair, though, he does have the bishop pair, so we do need to think like, hey, how can we neutralize that? And because of that, I'm going to go knight f6. I want to trade off these bishops. If we go bishop g4, I can establish really nice square on g4 for my knight. So that is the point. Okay, let's see what he's going to do. Okay, bishop f3, he's hitting this, but I can just go bishop g4 anyway, because if he takes, I take his rook. And once again, if we trade off one bishop, the bishop pair is gone, right? And then a lot of his compensation will dissipate. Okay, he goes here, hitting the knight. Let's go here. Because once again, we wanted to trade off the bishop. Okay, pawn takes good move, as now he's controlling these squares. I don't want to allow him to take, as it would damage my pawn structure. So I can go here, I can go here. I'm going to go knight e5. It's a little bit more active. It also comes with a semi-threat, so to speak, of taking the bishop. So let's see what he's going to do. Okay, bishop d2 Ikas. Okay. Let's go c5. Let's go c5. It leaves the knight unprotected for a move, but he doesn't have a good way to take advantage of it. If it didn't go c5, he might otherwise go like c4. Okay, he's going here, eyeing the pawn, so I'm going to defend it with rook fe8. So if in case he goes here, I can just move my knight, and it's still protected. So here, once again, we're up a pawn in an endgame. You might be wondering, like, okay, Mr. Bok, how do we convert that? But again, we just slowly but surely push up the board. a5, by the way, interesting idea, followed by knight b4. But I think I also like f5, king f7. Once again, just slowly but surely advancing. But f5 he has here. So let's not do that. It becomes a little bit messy. So I'm just going to slowly but surely advance. f5, king f7. Just grabbing a little bit more space, move by move. Okay, let's see what he's going to do. By the way, what are everyone's predictions for Tata Steel today? We have, I'll tell you guys the pairings. Okay, a3 played. Let's go king f7. That was the point behind f5, of course. Once again, grabbing a little bit more ground. We have Noderbek against Tie-Dye. We have Gukesh against Prague. We have Anish against Arjun. We have Ferasev against Jordan. Okay, rook e2. Let's go h5 to make it difficult for him to ever go g4. Maybe at some point in the future, go h4 and, you know, rip his pawn structure apart a little bit. Let's see what he's going to do. Okay, bishop a5, good move. Now he's hitting the knight, so I don't want to go e6 because that blunders this. So I'll just move it. Now maybe I should have gone a5. But okay, he could have taken. I would have had that or just takes and takes. It's all okay. It's all okay. Let's see what he's going to do. Still, you know, quite a bit of work to be done to convert this into a full point. I mean, it's just one pawn. But we're just going to push up the board slowly but surely. And not rush with anything. Anyway, besides that, okay, goes rook e1. Okay, now I'm a little bit stuck with my rooks. This is slightly annoying. I would have liked to go here and then this rook here, but now obviously I can't. I also don't really want to go e6. Let's think about this and knight h5, but he has bishop d2. Maybe c4. Because if he takes, I'll get the pawn right back. If he goes b4, he blocks out that bishop, so I think I like the idea of c4. Let's go c4. Trying to rip his pawn structure apart a little bit again. If he takes, I go here, win it right back. Let's see what he's going to do. Should be fine. Okay, anyway, like I said, we have Ferasev against Jordan. Then we have Bluebam against Sindarov. We have Erdoğmuş against Keimer. And then we have Aravind against Hans Mook Niemann. So what are everyone's predictions? Or let me know what game you're most excited for. Excited for Prague versus Gukesh. Okay, bishop e4, Ikas. Okay, this is protected. I think I'll take. And maybe like here. Yeah, let's go ahead and take and go rook a b8. And then a5 first also was a possibility, but okay, it just moves the bishop back. So I'll just go here. Now a5 is a threat, because after takes, I have this double attack ski. So let's see what he's going to do. Hello, Ahmad. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. That's an honor. Appreciate it. Okay, rook d2. Now we're definitely going to go a5. If he takes, yes, I lose a pawn, but I take here, and then I have the double attack. And things are falling apart. Who are you talking to, sharp lines? Okay, let's take here. Once again, I have the double attack, so I'm going to win another pawn. Goes there. Okay, let's go ahead and take. And this pawn is actually also important. Because now this is under attack, and I get access to the e4 square again for my knight. So let's move the rook out of the way. Knight e4 is now a big threat, hitting the rook and the pawn. Goes rook c1 he casts, but okay. I just go knight e4, hitting this and this. So he's going to lose another pawn. Yeah, who are you talking to, sharp lines? Who are you talking to? Hello, Rajat. Hello, Sid. Not the dragon, but the accelerated dragon. Okay, we take here, we check. There, let's go rook f3, hitting the pawn. We're gonna win another pawn here. Very good. Sharp lines, you're on thin ice. You're on thin ice. Or, I don't know who you're talking to. But here, you're on thin ice. Now, just to make you feel better, though, as I say you're on thin ice, people very rarely get banned or timed out here. We do believe in free speech. Okay, let's go king e6 because he was hitting this pawn. Now I just protect it. So I'm going to take here. And yeah, we're up 3 pawns. We're going to be up 4 very soon. Okay, let's see what he's gonna do. But hopefully everything makes sense. If there's still anything unclear, don't be shy to ask in the chat. He goes rook a5. Okay, let's go ahead and take. Here's the thing. Okay, he goes rook a6. Doesn't do anything. Now we have all these passed pawns, right? And as I told you guys, what do we do with passed pawns? We just push them. So let's go g5. But once again, we don't want to rush too much, right? We just want to push them in symphony. Right? If you push them too fast, one at a time, you're leaving holes behind. But that's why we just push them very slowly. Let's just push again. Okay, can throw in this check. Yeah, let's throw in the check. He's gonna have to move the king back. And let's go g3, defending my rook and pushing the pawn, because he was starting to take and take. And I don't see what he can do about push, and that's gonna be it. Ahmad, yeah, this is a speed run. Okay, goes rook e3, trying to take, but we're not gonna fall for that. Let's keep pushing. Yeah, the goal is to push for 2500. This is by the rapid, first of all, but we're pushing for 2500 rapid. Okay, he goes there, hitting my rook. Let's just move the rook out of the way. Any square would be good, but intuitively I put the rook here just to put it behind the passed pawn, right? I mean, it obviously doesn't matter, but let's say the pawn would have been here, then you're happy that your rook is behind the pawn. It's just a good habit, right? So let's see what he's gonna do. Okay, he goes there. I'm not too worried about taking. I mean, I'm still winning. Now let's activate the other rook. Right, so I want to go rook c1. And that's going to finish it off. He's probably going to take, but I just recapture. And he might take, but after rook c1, he's losing the bishop. And it's going to be made very soon. So we take. Now let's go king f5, hitting the rook, stepping out of the check. Like I said, he's probably going to take. And then I go here. And that is going to be it. Okay, let's go rook c1, hitting the bishop. Goes there, but we just give a check. The king has to move over, and then we take here with checkmate. Okay, good stuff. We get another win. All right, so let's have a look. So against e4, sharp lines, this was the last time. No. I really don't want to time people out or like whatever. I don't believe in that. I believe in free speech. But like, stop. Okay, anyway, e4, c5. We play the Sicilian, right? And the reason why I like the Sicilian is because we stop d4 while avoiding the symmetry with e5. Now, I want to go for the fianchetto, but if we go g6 here, white has, for example, the option to go d4. And then queen takes, which is a little bit annoying. And c3 also a little bit annoying. So I go knight to c6, he goes d4, take, and I go g6. The start of the Accelerated Dragon. Alright, anyway. So he goes knight c3, bishop g7. Now the main move here is bishop e3, but a lot of people will also take, and as I told you guys, whenever they take, we almost always recapture with the b pawn. Right, so he goes here, I go queen c7, aiming to develop my knight. He goes here, knight f6, castles, queen g3. And yeah, I like the queen trade. I feel like in the endgame we should be doing pretty well. I go d6 to stop e5, because the pressure along the long diagonal is pretty annoying for white. Again, guys, the Accelerated Dragon, don't underestimate. Black is already better here. Alright, he goes here, knight d7. And knight c5. Now I'm threatening to take here and win a pawn. So I think he probably should have played f3, but I was going to play something like, I don't know, maybe a5 here, maybe a4, and we see that it becomes a little bit awkward for him to keep his queen side together. I mean, he can go b3, but then again, he's a little bit stuck. I mean, the knight cannot really move anywhere. The bishop also stuck. Like, what can he move, right? Especially if I go here, he also can move this bishop here. Like, his pieces are kind of stuck. He's not collapsing or anything, don't get me wrong, but it's just annoying for white. That's why the computer is giving black an advantage, but it's nothing too great. But he went here. Now, and we just take the pawn. Right? Just winning. So in the game of chess, greed often can be good. Right? We just win a pawn and go into the endgame, but we have to neutralize the bishop here, so I played knight f6, trying to trade one of the bishops off. Right, so I go here, trading the bishops. Because now we see he's got the dark square bishop, but he doesn't have any... It's hard for him to control the light squares. Right, so I go here, I played c5, and okay, go here, make sure this is always defended. And f5, grabbing a little bit more space so my king can move up. Okay, I went here. All right, h5, with the idea to potentially go h4, rip his structure apart. Goes here, obviously I have to move my knight, and now I really liked c4. The idea to take and give him more weaknesses. So he went here, I took, rook a b8, threatening a5. I mean, yes, he has a passed a pawn, but that's not going anywhere, and this is falling apart, and when f3 falls, as we saw in the game, everything can collapse, because I get access to the e4 square, so g3 gets weak. That's pretty much what happened. So we take, move the rook out of the way, knight e4, and now we're simply winning more material. So I just take. This pawn is also going to drop. And now we see we actually have 5 connected passed pawns. It's hard to push the E and D pawns because I use those pawns to kind of shelter my king a little bit. But of course, the pawns on the king side are definitely there to be pushed, especially the H and G pawns. There's nothing stopping them. So we just push, push, give a little check, push, push, move the rook out of the way, activate the other rook, and this led to a very quick checkmate. So very nice win here with black as we move to 1964. Does all of that make sense? Okay, happy to hear that, Ugard. Thank you. Welcome. Appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. Okay, anyway, let's see. Yeah, what are everyone's thoughts on Tata Steel today? What do you guys think is gonna happen? Like, let's hear some predictions. Let's hear some predictions in the chat. Wait, what? Okay, wait, give me 1 second. Hikaru is not playing Tata Steel. Okay, I have to do something real quick. I hope this is not gonna kill the stream. Okay, we're back, we're back. We're back, right? Hello? Okay, welcome back everyone. Okay, okay, hello Albert. Wait 1 second. Um, okay, yeah, so we're gonna um okay. What are we doing? Yes, Meg Hasson, it is exactly for your level. Yes. That is actually why I made the course. I made the course for like a lot of you guys. So I think it's perfectly suited for your level. Absolutely. So yeah, check it out and let me know what you think. Hello, sister, welcome. Okay. No, not a new haircut. Okay, anyway. Let's see what's going on. Okay, give me a second. All right, everyone. So this next portion of the stream is gonna be sponsored by Ted Peacock. So that's um a new it's a new show, and yeah, so we're gonna be watching the trailer. Very fun show. So let's have a look. Give me a second. All right, so let's see what's going on. The Queen's Gambit is also a good opening. It's what I've been playing in my speedrun, but we'll get to that later. Okay. So, yeah, like I said, guys, this new show is out of Ted. Should be a lot of fun, and you guys can all check it out on this website Peacock. So feel free to check it out. Thanks for them. Thanks to them for sponsoring this stream. Appreciate it. Okay, so let's see. Is there a technical difficulty? No, we're figuring some stuff out, but we're going to continue very soon. Don't worry. I'll make sure to stick around. Yeah, is that actually happening? I saw about that, but is that actually happening? Like, where is that going to be broadcasted? I thought it would be happening like now, but I don't see anything. Wait, or is it happening? Wait, is this thing happening or not? Oh, they're gonna go live on the Take 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 YouTube. Okay, nice, nice. Okay, so we can also watch that as we. Oh, okay. I guess that's gonna start in an hour, yeah? Okay, so let's continue the speedrun. Okay. Yeah, Haya Busa, indeed. The sloth course would also be a starting out course, exactly. Yep. Okay, so let's continue. Give me a second. A lot of stuff we're trying to figure out right now. Okay, give me a second. Okay, by the way, big shout out to everyone watching on YouTube and on Kick. But I think we're just gonna move over to Twitch for this last part. So if you're watching on YouTube, feel free to come over to Twitch. Okay? So I'll see you guys there very soon.